What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Kingdom Wars: The Plague. Now this one does leave early access and fully launches right here today. The game has been in early access on Steam since July of 2020 and has mostly positive reviews. Now, this one, of course, is from Reverie World Studios, and I don't know if any of you all will remember Medieval Kingdom Wars, but Kingdom Wars: The Plague is going to play very similar to that, but it's going to expand on it with this element of the Plague. Now, in celebration of the game's launch, Reverie World Studios did sponsor this video and gave me an opportunity to pop into it a little bit early, so I do appreciate that. Thank you all very, very much. Now, checking out what we have available. First things first, let's pop into the options. I always like to look at a game's options and what is available. You've got the usual resolution settings, windowed or non-windowed. You can turn off blood and corpses if you don't like the gore factor. There is some, and there will be some spraying, and you could turn that off if you prefer not to look at that sort of thing. Standard settings here: the model quality, AA, water quality, shadow quality, the draw distance, various camera settings throughout. There is individual volume controls, of course, so you got music and sound on different channels, and then voice on a third channel, so you're going to be able to tweak those to your heart's desire. Now, looking at the different game mode options, of course there is a tutorial. The tutorial's fairly robust. I did play through it earlier just to check out what it had to offer, and it goes through a lot of different sections of the game. You got the basic start, you've got how to go in and manage your city or cities, you've got various preparations, you've got defending versus raids. Just lots of different aspects that are covered in the tutorial. So anyone new to the genre, there is all of the basics there to be taught. Now, there is a full campaign, and that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. There is also skirmish mode, which are going to be smaller battles that are field and siege battles versus either AI or other players. So there is a multiplayer element in the game as well. Of course, the multiplayer is online, so it will require an internet connection if you choose to play against others. If you're playing against the AI, you can just do offline mode, though, without any issue whatsoever. Now, taking a look at starting up a brand new campaign, you've got a lot of choices, and one thing you'll find out pretty darn quick is this game has an unbelievable amount of choices to choose from. You can end up playing as over 200 different lords throughout all of Europe. Let's take a look and see what we've got. We got France, Burgundy, Ireland, Scotland, England, Castile, Portugal, and so on and so on. Sweden, Denmark, all the way around. There's just tons and tons of options right in the campaign itself. Now, in addition to that, after you choose which area or continent or nation that you want to represent, you then get a choice of which lord you're going to do on that area. So why don't we start off with Ireland here. Ireland has 3 different choices. We got a clan chief, we got another clan chief, and we got a Donal. I'm not sure. I'm sure I'm massacring that one. But we've got 3 different choices of what we want to play with. If we take a look at each one of them here, it tells you what cities they start with, what their renown and standing are. If you can go with Cork, that's just one city, but it's a city and not one of the smaller towns. Or you could just start off with just a couple, like these are going to be 2 smaller towns that we want to build up. And let's go ahead and hop right on into it. As far as difficulty settings, the default is medium. There is an easy and a hard mode, and in addition to that, if you really want to play through and kind of get the grand strategy experience, but don't want to have to sweat some of the RTS elements, you can go on to chill mode here. If you enable chill mode, it's going to relax some of the different elements of the game happiness, how much silver gets drained, and it allows for a little bit easier experience. So if you want chill mode, then you always have that option there. But let's just hop on into regular old medium mode, as that is intended as the very first playthrough, and let's check it out.
Although the first High King of Ireland arose in the 7th century, the clans continued to fight among themselves, leaving them ill-prepared to deal with invading enemies, the Vikings in the 10th century, and in 1169, the English. Still unwavering, the clan chiefs led by the great Taoiseach in the west fought hard against their English overlords until, by the late 13th century, the invaders had either been driven out or switched sides to join the Irish. Now, in 1336, the Irish people are ready to take control of their own destiny. The plague is coming. As a noble in your king's service, you must get ready to face the impending pandemic. Visit your towns to develop your industry and oversee improvements. Within a few months, prepare to defend your holdings from enemy raids. Soon you can start to cautiously expand, but beware of rival lords from your own kingdom until you are powerful enough to fight for the throne.
And here we go. Now, we do have a few NPCs that we'll be interacting with quite regularly. The steward is one of them and does offer up some basic hints as you're going through the game. You can turn that off as well if you choose to. Now, the plague is not around right here. Now, one thing I am going to do right away is I'm going to go ahead and pause it. Now, the reason being is you see this personal time up in the top left here. Personal time is something that you're going to gain each month, but this is the time that you are allowed to actually be inside one of your cities managing it. When you go into directly to your city, you can manage it much more efficiently while you're inside of it. However, it does have a limited amount of time that you're able to spend inside of your city. And that is one of the RTS elements of the game, and watching the clock. So I'm going to leave this pause just for a moment while I look around. But as you see, it is an absolutely enormous world. If you take a look down here at the mini-map, I mean, it goes all the way through Europe and all the way over, I believe, all the way over to Asia. And remember that if you're playing this game in multiplayer mode, look at all this. I mean, there is a ton of area to control or take over and advance throughout the world. So lots and lots of options there. Now, you've got your scribe right above the minimap here. He's going to be your first NPC here. The scribe is going to alert you to news events. Now, of course, there's no news events happening in the world right now, as I've got the game paused here, so nothing has occurred yet. But when things do happen, the scribe is going to make you aware. Now, addition to that, we've got the steward, who's been our trusty guide so far. The steward is also responsible for research, and there is quite a bit of research. So starting off from just common military stuff, some of the more advanced things, and then siegecraft, working on some actual like war machines and tactics when it comes to defending and attacking. Now, this tree is quite, it's quite extensive. There's lots and lots of things to unlock. From common military through siegecraft all the way up to tactics, the town, the economy, and the church. So tons of things to offer right here. Now, as is the case with mini games like this, you're going to want to build your area up a little bit before you go and get too aggressive. Now, these are our two little towns right here, and this is our army. But the first thing we want to do is we want to start working on getting our towns built up. Now, like I said, you can go into your towns, and entering the city is going to give you more direct control. So let's go ahead and pop into the city here and check it all out. Now, to repause it again, and there is, like travel does take a while, constructing things takes a while, so there is speed controls. You can speed it up, but another important thing is you can also slow it down, because as you see in the top left of my personal time, it is ticking away. So one thing that would be really good for me is to slow the time down a little bit. So you can even bring the time down if you chose to, or you can just pause it and get things started. Now, what do we want to do here? Well, first things first, we're going to need to get some of our basic resources in our town here. So if we go to our building plot, we've got industrial type items, we've got town building items, and then we've got a military building menu. Now we're going to stick with some of the basics here, and we'll get like, let's just go ahead and go with a barn right here. Then on this building plot, we will go with a lumber camp. Over on this one right here, we will get, we'll go with a silver mine. That way we can get a little silver flowing. And what else do we have around town? We've got another building slot right over here. We could take this one, and where do we want to go there? We've got the lumber camp. We've got a silver mine. Let's go ahead and build a stone mine right there. Now, let's go ahead and unpause it and get these things crafting up a little bit. Now, additionally, this is just a pretty old vanilla town. We don't have a whole lot going on. It's a harbor town, as you see here, so we will have to defend versus land and sea attacks by this one. And as you see here, the Chancellor is suggesting that we build some walls. So if you look for this blue banner here on your town, that will allow you to craft your walls. Since I'm just getting started off, all I've got access to here is just the starter palisade walls. And I'm going to go ahead and I've got it at ×3, so it should go relatively quick. And these walls are going to construct all the way around. It's going to create a perimeter for us around our entire city here. Now, what else do we want to do with these building plots while we're waiting for those walls to go? We'll just let that keep on constructing there. Let's see. We'll go over here. What do we have for a town menu? A storehouse. Let's put a storehouse in. This is going to increase our research and storage capacity. It's also going to give us the ability to make horse carts and oil carts, and those are going to help us down the road. Now, speaking of resources, I mentioned the personal time here, but our resources we're going to be gathering are silver. We've got food, of course. Going to need food because the homies want to eat. Wood, some of the basics here, wood and stone. Resource cap. This you will increase, of course. This is the resource cap for this area. So just how many resources you're allowed to hold in this individual area. Then we've got our population. Our population is going to grow as long as we keep our people happy. And that is down at the bottom here with the happiness. Now, in addition to the population cap, we've got our citizens. Now, of course, we're going to want lots of citizens because citizens we will train into military or whatever else we need to get done in our territory. And then we see right here, we've got the plague or the infected. Now, we're at 0 right now, but this is the era of the plague throughout Europe. So it is going to be quite devastating as we get to those situations when the plague starts coming closer. Now let's go ahead and salvage a little bit of our personal time, and we'll go ahead and pop on out to our world map. Now, we also have towns, so we're going to want to make sure to set up a few resources at that town as well. Alright, so heading on in to Limerick, and we need to get some of those basics in play here as well. So get a little bit of wood, some stone, a barn, that way we can get some food going, and just going to need those base resources to get our, make sure our cities are healthy and things are going well. So right over here, we'll go with, do we want to put the barn there? Yeah, let's just put the barn right there. On this building plot, we will go with, let's go with the silver mine there. Then over on this building plot, we'll slap in our stone mine.
Now does not have sufficient resources.
No, we're out of resources. We can't do a stone mine, but we can do a lumber camp. Oh, no, we don't have enough of that either, so we need a little bit more wood. We're going to have to let that cycle up before we can build too much more here. We do have a barn down, though, which is pretty important, and that's going to allow me to get a few chickens going once again, so these folks here have something to eat. Now, as you see, the personal time is still ticking away here, so I'm going to save that by heading back out to the world map and out what's going on. Now, obviously, we're just starting the game. We're not super powerful and ready to go out and beat areas. Another aspect is, remember the other lords throughout Ireland. I can go and invade their towns and cities. However, that's going to piss off the king. So if you want to do any of that, like my army is right here. However, if I wanted to come down here and do that, then the smartest thing for me to do would be to go to our capital city, check out the diplomacy feature, and bribe our king to get a little bit of favor. Now, if we take a look at the basics for just our region as a whole, we've got a defense alliance with England. We've got a trade agreement with Denmark and Sweden. And we are currently at war with Scotland. So our closest enemies would be up here in Scotland. And what would be the easiest thing to take here? Well, I mean, it would be to go all the way up to the north of Scotland there, which could be a little bit of a challenge. We could get right in right here, but I think that that enemy would be a little bit stronger than us. Yeah, they're a bit stronger than us. Now, another thing you can do with your army is if you head on over to a city.
The trumpet sounds to summon us.
If we head on over to a city, we can then either reinforce that city or we can even take troops from it. We can also recruit just directly from this overhead view screen here. And additionally, when it comes to maintaining and doing anything at cities, like we just got things decked out up here, and we tried to get things started in Limerick, but we can do that from right here at the world screen as well. So we've got an empty building plot here. We could throw down, what do we have here? We've got a barn. We've got a silver mine. We don't have any wood. Do we have enough lumber there now? It looks like we do, so we can throw down a lumber camp. And then we've got another building plot. What do we want to do with it? Well, let's throw in a siege workshop there, and that's going to allow us to make some siege weapons. And then if we come over to the walls here, now, of course, we don't get to see the beauty of those walls going up, but we can just build those walls right here from the world screen. So all that is options. As you see, a month has ticked away. So my personal time has gone up, but additionally I've collected some taxes. So I've got some tax here. I made a little bit from taxes. I made some from trade. The Byzantine Empire has declared war on the Golden Horde. The Golden Horde has declared war on the Byzantine Empire. It basically tells us the things that went down here over the course of the last month. Now, I do want to get a little bit of combat in, so why don't we do this? I'm going to take my army, and I am going to basically take everyone away from my capital city here. In fact, I'm going to grab some of the residents, too. Just because I want to get a little scrap in before we get through the end of this video. So let's grab all of these guys. We're going to leave like almost nothing there and pray that that city doesn't get attacked here. And then we are going to take our army and, you know what, let's see if we can't sneak around up to the north up there. So if we head on over here to the coast, let's go ahead and speed up that time just to get these guys cooking a little bit quicker. Your troops will automatically transfer from land to ships, so they're going to be in ships right away. Let's go ahead and pop into a ship here and see if we can't do a little sneaky sneak move on our enemy up here in Scotland. So let's get up on it here. All right, we are there. Let's go and attack the town. It's going to allow us to either do the fight or we can auto-resolve it. Now, if you go through and do the fight with yourself, the casualties are going to be a lot less. If you auto-resolve it, of course, it's going to be a lot quicker. And if you are twice as strong, I believe it is, or if you outnumber your opponent by 2, then you are not going to have many casualties in a auto-resolve. So it depends on how much time you want to put into it, as it does take a little time. But let's hop right on in and check out one of the fights and see this little Scottish village all over here. Let's see here. We're going to have to see how well this one's defended. Oh, it's got high walls. It has got a lot going on up there. I'm not sure if this is going to be realistic by any means. Now, when we're in our little build interface here, we can, this is our base camp. So you can build things on your base camp as well. Like we're going to need to produce a little lumber as we're here. We could get a silver mine in as well and get the silver flowing while we're here also. And then we would want to attack this, which I am not super optimistic on this one. Let me see, do we have... We do. You can quick select your troops, or you can just, drag across the screen and select everything here. You can do that, and we want to start moving things over to this point to see if we can't smash through there. I have a feeling this is going to end in an absolute travesty, but we will see here. So it is going to bring our homies over. Let's go ahead and speed them up just so they get there a little bit quicker. And we're going to want to get our battering rams up front. Do we have battering rams?
Rams standing.
We do have rams. In fact, we're going to go ahead and take those rams and just have them go directly to the gate. And we'll bring our troops up behind. Now, although we did drag our entire army up here, they're smart to an extent. Like the melee fighters, of course, are going to go up front. The archers will stay in back. I should have brought those battering rams up first, as this is just straight up ugly right here. There's no doubt. And the battering rams are slow rolling it up the rear. Oh, they haven't even started moving yet. Or no, one of them did, I believe, because there was 3 there before. So we'll have to give it a moment here for our battering rams to get here. Oh, wow. They got some troops rolling out. This is going to end up very, very badly. Here comes our battering ram now. They are coming on out. And you see this group is retreating right here. Let's go ahead and start moving everybody up. In fact, let's move our melee up first. We'll have the archers attacking some of those behind. And see if we can't brute force our way in here. I have a feeling this is just going to be straight ugly, though. We will have to see. Go ahead and bring this group up as well. See if we can't get a good old mash 'em up going up here. Now, our battering ram... I'm not seeing it. Did it get smacked? Not positive there. Our battering ram may have gotten smashed. We've got 2 more sitting back there. In fact, no. Is that our battering ram right there?
Ready your steeds.
Man, things have just gone super ugly here. Oh no, what am I doing? I'm bringing my cavalry up front. All the horses is gonna die. Let's see. Let's go back here and get our battering ram. I'm going to bring all 3 of these up. That way if it gets wrecked again. We got these guys just taking pot shots at us now. In fact, let's see if we can't get all of our archers. Oh, you know what? They don't have very much left, to be honest with you. Let's let these battering rams get up here. They are taking their sweet old time. This one in the front, I think we'll go ahead and just put right to the door. They got the door open right now. I wonder if we can just sneak right on in and not worry about ramming it. Let's check it out. Let's head right on in. Are they going to slam the door on us? They left the door open. What the hell are they thinking? Well, here we go. We are going to head on in. We're going to take over this front courtyard area. In fact, let's just bring everybody up in there. We're going to need our battering rams up here, though. And actually, I don't think we are. We're going to be able to just get right up there. Now, the objective here is going to be to take the opponent's flag. So, if we head on up, how are our troops doing here? They're slow rolling it. Lots of archer shots going here, but let's go ahead and bring all of these guys in from the outside. We still have all these archers up on the rail here, and they're just taking pot shots. The battering rams are jamming things up just a little bit, but that's all right. They can stay out there. And let's see. Let's grab our cavalry. Let's go ahead and bring those in. And you know what? In fact, I think we can just bring everybody up here and just let them start busting heads. So let's bring the cavalry up. Let's bring all of our melee up. Let's bring the whole enchilada up here and allow them just to wreck up some faces here. So let's get everybody upstairs. These archers have got some work to do. They're actually putting in work from down here, spraying on into the crowd as a whole. Oof. Big oofs. Even the horse carts are getting into combat here. Well, they're just going to get smacked pretty quick. We should be getting pretty close. We got, man, I brought an absolute butt ton of archers, huh?
Let your fletching sing.
Some of these guys up more. The range on them is incredible. I think we're going to have these guys cleared out relatively quick.
Wit depends on dilatory tasks.
Straighten up your lines there.
Let's go ahead and bring our cavalry in to smack down that back end there. Oh, the cavalry got smoked. Oh, everybody's running. That's no good.
Bows bend at your will.
Crossbows with steady arms, my lord.
Are we going to be able to hold them off? Kind of sketchy here. We got a lot of deserters.
The Lord, we move.
Their little pikemen or whatever that are there are just mowing everybody down. Oh no, now they got shieldies coming out. This is bad news, because all I have left is archers, and these guys are just going to get mowed down. So we will call this one a big old facepalm and learning experience. I needed way more melee troops. I needed some upfront troops, and I just brought way too many archers. I grabbed all those archers out of our town and have now sent them off to a glorious death. But that will do it for now. This is just a quick look at Kingdom Wars: The Plague. And Reverie World Studios, I did enjoy Medieval Kingdom Wars, so I'm assuming I'm going to enjoy The Plague as well. The game's looking good, and it just launched today. All the links are down in the description below, so make sure you head on down there and check it out. But that will do it for now. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see ya next time around. And that is why you don't rush off to attack things before you're ready. See you next time.